Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Ariel. In this incarnation, we have today, July 18th, the moon transiting Taurus. And well, this helps us to, load anxiety, connecting with the body, and accompanying the rhythm of Mercury that is officially retrograde in Leo until August 11th. So we all feel this transit in some area of our lives, probably people that have fixed signs in angular houses 1, 4, 7, or 10 could feel more impacted by this transit. And well, it is also important to remember that certain processes that are linked with Mercury, it is natural for them to be stopped so we can do the review. Whether these are projects, conversations, and answers that we are waiting, principally from June 30th until this point. I am not those kind of people that considers that we cannot initiate things with Mercury retrograde. I believe that if we are connecting with something that is truly aligned with the soul, then we should do it, especially if we are talking about ideas that we had before. It is a good moment, in fact, to reconnect, to retake those things. But if this is about a new beginnings, it is important to evaluate that well, because, well, many times it is life the one that is not allowing us to start things until the retrogradation ends. But also, if there are projects that are not well reviewed, there could happen that we have to make adjustments later. But the important thing is not to be conditioned by the transit. It is useful to have it in account at the time that we have to, approach certain experiences. For example, investments that are important, or investments of technology. If that can wait, well, better. And also reconsidering returns of people. It is very, very frequently this thing here. I don't want to do a generalization, but in a great part this is linked with closing a cycle. Many times closing a cycle doesn't require for us to talk with somebody or saying something. It is only to make the inner process. I mean, it is important to not look for excuses of communication with a person that cannot participate in an evolutionary way of our experience. But also could be other cases in which someone couldn't express, or in which someone have to say something that it is important. So the key is to be honest with our own intentions. On Sunday, I was telling that this transit is inviting us to reconnect with ways of creation that truly can light up our heart. If there was something stagnated, in relation regarding these things, it could be a key moment to make questionings to ourselves, to understand from which place we want to create, what we want to communicate, how we want to use our voice, if there are other ways of expression that we want to share. Also things linked with recognition in some area of our lives, feeling seen or not feeling seen, the capacity of being spontaneous or authentic, of appreciating, validating who we are. Self-esteem, all of those things are linked with Leo, and very related, of course, to the experiences that we have transited when we were kids. This retrogradation, it is contained for by many new aspects, because in Gemini, that is one of the signs that Mercury rules. It is Uranus that we are discovering. It's this transit. Uranus is connecting with Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, with Saturn retrograde, and with Neptune retrograde in Aries. Also in Gemini is Venus, that is creating a square with Mars in Virgo, and Mars in Virgo is connecting with the South Node and making this tension with the North Node in Pisces. Virgo is the other sign that Mercury rules. All of these transits, I have been explaining them in the last videos. Therefore, there could be disruptive movements that are pushing us to a liberation of an old paradigm in which we were operating, to make different things, so we can encourage ourselves to choose projects and paths that are feeling that we can feel authentic. But many times these things could challenge mental conditionings of what we should do. And these transits are asking us to open ourselves to new information. With information, I am not referring to news or a reel of Instagram that could also bring us synchronicity and confirm, things that we have, that we are intuitively feeling. But this is about opening to what the soul wants right now, to the paths that the soul wants to take, into and being able to create a direction, because Uranus in Gemini could be a chaotic energy at times. And there are moments where when the chaos is part of the process to create a new order. But when we have, punctual ideas, when we already have decisions in mind, this is about descending them to earth and generating direction. That is Saturn and Neptune in Aries. Because if we don't do that, we cannot move forward. But well, this time of retrograde planets, it is a moment to put the veils of the programmings aside and to listen to ourselves, to assume the next decisions. And both situations that we didn't expect, as much as manifestations in the physical body with Mars and the South Node in Virgo, whether those situations are or not what we desire, they are information, there are confirmations, signals of where we need to do the changes, or reflections of an inner resistance to change. Many times the first thing that we have to change, it is the perception of a situation. Because genuine acceptance is what many times enables the field to move to other experience. And genuine acceptance could be a process that in some cases could require a labor, could require a process precisely, and it is not something that we do in an immediate way. Genuine acceptance could also be seen as opening ourselves, to truly opening ourselves to see a situation that we don't like, and that we cannot control, as something that is offering an opportunity. And all of these things are practice. This is what Mars in Virgo is telling us. I am also saying this because the next days could be a little bit intense, because we are starting to feel the opposition, the tension with Pluto. This is an uncomfortable cycle, but necessary. Transforming, it is not an option if we truly want to live in plenitude. It is a vital passage. And human beings have the tendency to reject process of death and rebirth. But I think that we can learn to inhabit them and to flow with them. So I'm going to expand on that later. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.